Hey everybody, it's me, Edward Jones, back with a new video, aka Daniel Coons, back with a new video. Separating the children on the border. So this, I'm looking at different videos about what's going on with families coming across the border, and the children are being separated from the parents. I remember the ages is said from 10 and under, and they being kept. From the first photos I've seen, they were kept in these holding pens, which it was chain link fence. They had children in there, I guess temporarily, and then I saw another photo where it showed these dorms. There was a room that had, I remember it was 3 beds. I'm assuming the children will be transferred from the holding pens to the dorms. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys know any more information about it, please leave a comment in the comment section or share a link if you have it. But there's everyone throwing a hoopla about the children being separated from the parents. I've heard, people say this is not the American, this is not the American way. This is torture. It's traumatic. It's traumatizing to the children, to the parents. First off, we've done this before. All right, we've done this. We've done this during World War II with Japanese U.S. citizens, and I think that was extreme. We did it to our own citizens. These people they're not our citizens. They're not U.S. citizens. If anything, correct me if I'm wrong, but if aren't they here illegally? So if they're here illegally, they've taken the risk with crossing the border illegally to try to sneak into the U.S. And if they got caught, well, there's a whole question of, well, what do we do if we catch these people? There are people who are more soft-hearted by saying, we should let them stay. They're trying to get away from dangerous environment. Those who say, let's send them back. And I'm in the camp that says send them back. As cold as that may be, I have, some of the questions I have are they here to assimilate? Are they here to actually be Americans? Because we do have a system in play for those who want to become American citizens, and and if they're working to bypass that or rather just break the law, and go across the border and go to a place that's gonna, look the other way, not enforce, the laws concerning border security and people who come here legally. I mean, then you have to be stopped and sent back. I think separating the children from the parents is more of a, I think it may be more of a kind of like a warning what you can expect to happen if you partake in that kind of activity. The children will be detained away from the parents, probably for questioning. Because you'd have to figure out why were they crossing in the first place. Also, I remember and this is from a movie. It's from Godfather Part 2. I remember when Vito Corleone, he was a boy, when he came to Ellis Island, he had to be put in quarantine because he was sick. I think he may have had tuberculosis, or it was maybe the measles. Who knows? Leave a comment in the comment section if you guys remember that scene. But he was in quarantine for a brief period. I think it's good I think it's good because who knows what kind of diseases these children may be bringing over with their families when they're, because wherever they came from, they may not have had the same standards concerning hygiene as we do here in the U.S. And I think it's important to see if the children do carry any illnesses or any diseases that could be an issue for U.S. citizens. Same as for the adults. Same as for anyone who crosses over, who comes here. You want to figure out, that part of their medical history. As far as it being torturous, it's not torture. I can see it being a traumatic experience, but the fact that you're smuggling your family across the border illegally, I think that's traumatic enough. At least in this situation, I'm pretty sure they're feeding the kids. I'm pretty sure they're being kept in a safe, secure location. I'm pretty sure they're getting adequate shelter, they're getting adequate food. I don't think they're being kept in. I don't think they're being kept, in cage and area like we would do, like a rabid dog or anything like that. And like I said, we've done this before during World War II. Sad to say it was with American citizens who had Japanese origins, and I think that was tragic. But this right here, it's, well, what do we do with them? They came here illegally. What do you do with them? It's the same as if someone broke into your house and you stop them. You stop them, they're still alive. What do? Well, you hold them there until you can find someone to come and pick them up and figure out why they break in and what can be done afterwards. Are they going to be deported? Probably. I mean, I guess what do you expect? If you're sneaking into a country illegally and you're caught, you should get deported. You should get sent back to where it is you came from. Now, please don't come at me with this. Oh, you don't care about their plight. You don't care about their struggles. I do care. I do care, but I care even more about, are they coming here to actually assimilate into our culture? Because I'm against multiculturalism. There was a statement by President Trump saying that he does not want what's happening in Europe to happen to the U.S., where you have people. I don't know why they call it refugees, because I'm not sure. Because it has been noted that it's primarily young men who are going through northern Africa into Europe, and generally refugees will be women and children, people who can't fight. But these are young, healthy young men, relatively healthy young men, en masse coming into Europe, and there are all kinds of problems that are going on because they're coming in. They're going into Europe. They're going to European countries, and they're not assimilating to the culture of that country. I mean, not that I want to, but if I was going to go to UK and I plan on living there, then I would have to learn the local flavor and figure out, how can I make myself how can I make myself fit in better with the people I'm going to be surrounding myself with. I did that coming from New York to South Carolina. I'd say I did pretty well. And I mean, it's still the same matter. Are they coming here to become American citizens, to adopt the American way of life, or are they just here to, and I guess in kind of a sense, carpetbaggers? Are they coming here just for economic opportunities, but not really to provide anything that's through enrichment of our culture, through assimilation and sharing their ideas and seeing how they match up with ours, and basically get this keep the American culture going. Are they doing that? Won't know unless they're actually questioned. And I guess it just came up to be a policy to separate the parents from the children, as a means of gathering information, checking for illnesses, seeing why they're here, this, that, and the other. So I'm not against it personally, as long as the children aren't being abused or anything like that. I think it's perfectly fine. And I mean, and other something that was funny. There's a thought I had. One of the same people who are saying that these children are being abused, that this is torture, are these same people who, who fight hard for women to be able to get abortions? I mean, because I mean, if we're going to be consistent, I mean, life's a life. You care about a life, you don't care about it. If you care about a life, you don't care about it. I wonder if the same people who who fight tooth and nail for women to be able to get abortions are the same ones who are complaining about these children who are being kept in holding pens because they had to go along with their parents, or their other older relatives who wanted to come to the country illegally. It makes me wonder where what is their motivation behind really being upset? Are they upset because the children maybe being mistreated, or they just don't like the current administration and they just find some way to bitch and moan about what's being done about a situation that no one's really been handling for some time? But please tell me what you think. Do you agree with the children being separated from their families? Do you disagree? Do you agree with are they kept in good conditions? Are they not kept in good conditions? Please tell me what you think. I'd love to read your comments and hear your questions. If you're new to the channel, please check out my older videos and look for new videos to come. If you want to make a donation to the channel, to look for the PayPal link on my homepage, to give up that cheese button, and you can make a donation of any amount to the channel. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I see if I can address them. But that's my video. Just my thoughts on the children being separated from their families at the border. I'm Edward Jones, aka Dan Coon, and you guys take care.